The camera glides across the Atlanta skyline at dusk, those studio lights on the city's south side flickering, like a new age gospel choir. Now, imagine one bulb quietly hissing, threatening to explode. That bulb is a 46-page lawsuit filed on June 18th, a $260 million thunderbolt that says Tyler Perry, Hollywood's beloved billionaire, used the same charm that sold out church basements to pressure a young actor named Derek Dixon into keeping the boss happy. If Dixon's receipts are real, that charm came laced with late-night texts, uninvited bedroom visits, and threats to end a man's entire career with one pen stroke. Perry calls it a shakedown. Dixon calls it PTSD and $400,000 in lost work. Either way, Black Hollywood is holding its breath. Dixon's story starts in 2019 at the Champagne Slick reception for Perry's brand new 330-acre studio. He was working the event, pocketing tips and handshakes, when the mogul slipped him a number and an offer. Let's talk roles. Over the next few months, those DMs allegedly swerved from "I see talent" to "what's it gonna take for some guilt-free fun?" By January 2020, Dixon says the flirtation mutated into an unwanted encounter inside Perry's guest house, an incident he claims ended with him in tears, and Perry promising, "We can make Dale famous if you relax." A month later, Dixon really was on set, shot 4 times in the chest on the Oval, then miraculously written back in. According to the lawsuit, that miraculous rewrite came with strings thicker than studio camera cables. When Dixon refused future advances, he says the threatening started. One alleged message reads, "Character's liver died depending on how well you treat the author." He tried to brush it off, until Perry allegedly pinned him to a wall during a blocking rehearsal, squeezed his throat, and whispered, "See how excited you get when it's rough?" Dixon claims the crew laughed it off as character work. He just felt trapped. In 2024, he asked to be written out. By 2025, he was in therapy, diagnosed with anxiety, insomnia, and stomach spasms every time his phone chimed after midnight. Then, on June 18th, he marched into Los Angeles Superior Court with screenshots, diary entries, and a prayer for a jury trial. The filing uncorked a memory the internet had half forgotten. A December 2023 Instagram Live where actor-writer Christian Kise vented about a powerful black giant who kept trying to climb in bed with me after 5 Hennessy's. Kise never said a name, but he did say the man produced all the Queen's men and loved surrounding himself with young brothers on payroll. Back then, the clip vanished almost as fast as it posted, but Twitter archivists screenshotted everything. Now, hashtag Christian Kise was right trends every time new lawsuit details drop. Kise still hasn't uttered the words Tyler or Perry, yet sleuths have laid his timeline over Dixon's and found the overlap chilling. Same studio lot, same guest house setup, same just joking blame the liquor apology text.
Listen to this, guys. Tell me what you think.
Actors, they're not allowed to consort with me. Because I saw you at a Diddy party, Tyler. And you were having a glorious time. I spent a lot of time in Miami, and I snuck around Star Island quite a bit. I know Christian isn't lying, but I need him to tell me what happened to my friends. And I don't care how long it's been since I talked to them. They will always be my friends. Always. Tim and Durrett and Lamont Rucker were not the same after they went on camera with Tyler Perry. Christian, I think you can tell me.
Cue Jaguar Wright, the neo-soul vocalist turned industry whistleblower. For years, she's live-streamed about freak-offs on Star Island, claiming she watched Perry and Diddy toast Cristal while entourages traded, well, party favors. Mainstream outlets called her conspiratorial, until Dixon's accusations sounded like a B-side to her ranting A-side. Within hours of the lawsuit, Wright doubled down. Actors from the Oval got NDAs thicker than the Bible, and Tyler told him if they talk to me, they're fired. Her followers clipped the quote, spliced it beside Dixon's suit line about professional retaliation, and the views rocketed. If nothing else, Wright's showmanship keeps the story bubbling hotter than a Medea turkey fryer. Internet detectives then stumbled on fresh paparazzi stills. Perry lounging off the Amalfi Coast on a rented 200-footer, trading laps with Brian Tanaka. Yes, Mariah Carey's on-again, off-again beau. The optics alone launched 1,000 TikTok stitches suggesting Dixon sued out of jealousy. Is that fair? Maybe not. But algorithmic gossip doesn't care about fairness. Only watch time. Within 48 hours, the yacht pics racked up 3 million views, while hashtags like New Favorite and Twink Wars turned Dixon's trauma claim into a digital cage match. Sponsors, ever skittish, noticed. BET Plus definitely noticed. Insiders whisper that fresh promo for Ruthless Season 5 quietly vanished from the streamer's homepage the night the lawsuit went public. Press junkets were postponed, and writers who'd banked on spin-offs got email reminders about morality clauses. Nothing official says the delay is Dixon-related, yet the timing feels louder than a studio clapboard. Meanwhile, Variety reports one soft drink giant hit pause on a family values campaign starring Perry, and Oprah's own network reevaluated joint ventures set to film this fall. Hollywood's glass smile may look intact, but the cracks are traveling fast. Perry isn't waving a white flag. His attorney Matthew Boyd calls Dixon's narrative fiction fit for Netflix and hints at a countersuit for defamation. Security has doubled at Tyler Perry Studios, and cast members were reportedly asked to sign fresh confidentiality addendums for the safety of ongoing productions. A crisis PR firm now filters all press inquiries. One producer claims even long-scheduled set visits from journalism students were canceled until further notice. To supporters, that's a man protecting his reputation. To skeptics, it's a fortress tightening before more arrows fly. Still, the most volatile reaction brews on social media. One corner tweets Bible verses about false witness and praise for their Christian brother Tyler. Another digs up every old Medea drag clip and spams, "We saw the clues!" A third group, mostly industry hopefuls, stays eerily silent. No likes, no reposts, where one wrong keystroke could vaporize a future audition. The algorithm slices these takes into echo chambers, each more convinced than the last. Dixon's supporters highlight parallels to the Diddy accusations. Perry's fans point to a net worth north of $1 billion and ask why anyone waits 5 years to sue. The result? 6 days in, hashtag cancel or crown Tyler still trends top 10 every evening. Legal analysts warn the complaint could be a gateway for male-driven Me Too cases that never found daylight. If Discovery drags emails or studio memos into public view, other actors might feel brave enough to file. Conversely, if Perry buries the suit and drops a box office smash next summer, the chilling effect on future accusers could be brutal. Either scenario is bigger than one director or one alleged victim. It's a referendum on how Hollywood handles power, masculinity, and silence when the cameras aren't rolling. So, where does it land? A court date is penciled for March 2026. Between now and then, expect leak wars. One side dropping screenshots at midnight, the other side firing off cease and desists by dawn. Expect YouTube channels milking every new rumor, TikTok lawyers explaining coercive contracts in 60 seconds, and maybe, just maybe, more guest house ghosts stepping into the light. Remember, Christian Keys swears he has recordings, he's just waiting on the right time. If that time is deposition day, Tyler Perry's empire could shake harder than an opening night standing ovation. Yet history says betting against Perry is like betting against Marvel. Dangerous to your wallet. He survived critical pans, writer's room strikes, even an IRS audit, always bouncing back with a Medea wig and a box office check. He funds his own projects, owns his own lot, and can move from script to finished movie in 6 weeks, faster than most studios read a pilot. Courts move slowly, Tyler shoots fast. If audiences keep clicking play, shareholders keep smiling, and networks keep collecting ad revenue, The business machine may outrun the courtroom marathon. Still, every empire has a fault line. Disney had its Scarlet Pay Gap, Miramax had Weinstein, and Warner had the merger bloodbath. For Perry, Dixon v. Perry could be that line, unless it isn't. Maybe the jury throws it out, maybe a settlement hushes it, maybe fresh evidence flips the script entirely. That uncertainty is the oxygen fueling comment sections tonight, and the reason you're still watching this video instead of doom-scrolling something else. So here's the real question, the one no press release can answer. If the court decides the preacher turned playwright crossed the line, do we boycott the art that helped us through breakups, funerals, and Friday night cravings for comfort? And if the jury sides with Perry, do we apologize to a man we dragged for clicks? Either verdict forces viewers, critics, and pastors who cheered those church plays to confront why they loved them in the first place. The gavel will drop. Empires will bend or bounce, but whatever happens, remember this moment. The billionaire, the guest house, the accusations, and the courage, or opportunism, of a man named Derek Dixon. Hollywood rarely gives us a live feed of its darkest rooms. Tonight, somebody left the door cracked. Which story walks out depends on who pushes it open. Smash subscribe, slap that bell, and drop your take below. Is Tyler Perry the architect of his own downfall, or a giant being hunted for his wallet? As always, keep it respectful, keep it spicy, and I'll meet you in the comments.